Now, when it comes to the course and tournament information, at least talking about the golf course, I usually like to start here with the tournament fact sheets. If you go to the gcsaa.org, you can kind of see that up here. Just want to show that for you. You would go down to the PGA Tour and find the tournament that is being played that week. Now, let me go ahead and refresh this in case they actually did put something up. They did not. So we have the John Deere was the last one. We do not have anything for the Genesis Scottish Open, nor do we have anything for the Barbasol Championship. Now, I guess special events? Nope. Yeah, so it's unfortunate. We have no tournament fact sheets, which, again, if I were to go ahead and drill down on the John Deere, what it provides are some good course statistics. The turf grass would be available to us. We could look at the course architect if we wanted to use that for data points. We unfortunately do not have that for either tournament. So I'm going to go ahead and just cross those out. What I can tell you when it comes to the Scottish Open is the grass that's used is red fescue. And this is I mean, I love the YouTube world right now when it comes to the DFS golf guys. It's the Renaissance, but you know what? We can call it the Renaissance Club. And if anyone from Europe wants to at me, go for it. But some of these people who are going out and making it a mission to let you know that it's the Renaissance Club are also the people that don't know how to say Romain Langesque. Like, if you don't know how to say a player's name, I don't think we need to worry about the tournament, the club that's being used. So anyways, that is what we have this week. So you can go ahead and use this. I believe since 2019 and on is the only time that this course has been used. This club has been used. When we go back, I think I wish I would have still had the wiki page up, but if you went back and looked at the Scottish Open on wiki, you'd see the Renaissance Club was not used except for 2019 and forward. We had a lot of other tournaments prior to 2019, and that's kind of why I don't have any results dating back further back from 2019. And I'm sure you've heard this elsewhere. It's all weather dependent. Anything in Europe is going to be weather, or, like either in the United Kingdom or over on Ireland. Everything is going to be weather dependent. So we can see a winning score of -22 in 2019. We also can see a winning score of -11. And then it flips to -18, and then it flips to -7. Like, it really depends on wind and rain. Always check your weather the night before the tournament plays. By the way, this is over in Europe, so the time's going to be way ahead. It's going to be just like the Open Championship. So at least we're going to get a little bit of a warm up to lineup building when it comes to the Open. Lineup lock will probably be somewhere around 2-3 in the morning. So hopefully you have your lineups built by that time. Don't think you can figure it out in the morning, like that next morning, like the Thursday morning. It will be Wednesday night. You want to get your lineups in, and that's going to be the best time to look at the weather. But it looks like it's going to be rain and wind, at least for the next, what was it, like 10 days or something like that, your 10-day forecast. So I would just say the volatility with this weather is going to probably produce results like this, -7, even maybe -11. I think it's going to be that -7, -11 range. So if you have a way to research this, weather is somewhat subjective when it comes to whatever site you're using. Some people will look at what the average wind mile an hour was, or, the average mile per hour for wind, and they'll use that as their full tournament scope, where in the morning of one day, it might have been, less than 10 miles an hour. And then in the afternoon, it was like 18 to 24 miles an hour. But for the entire day, it averaged out to be 15. So you have to be careful when researching wind. And also, we don't know where gusts come in. But of course, when people make that argument, you want to know how long a gust usually lasts for? You could sit and wait for the gust to go away before you hit your shot. Like that's the one thing that some people galaxy brain themselves with when thinking about wind and how it's calculated into stats. It's like, yeah, sometimes golfers get gusted. Don't get me wrong. They'll hit a ball and boom, a gust comes in. But if a gust is happening, they're going to let it pass by. And then they're going to hit their shot. It'll still be windy, but it won't be gusting. Put it that way. Yes, there's still inconsistencies, and I am not trying to be, pro wind stats. But if you can find a good site that looks at it wave by wave or even hour by hour when the golfers are playing, all the better, all the more power for you to do your research, your due diligence when it comes to basically trying to figure out which players are good in this kind of weather. There is one thing that I'll talk about. Should I do it? Yeah, let's do it now. You're going to want, I know you're going to want to play European golfers whenever you can. I understand that. Now, the Scottish Open used to be a venue that like a Phil Mickelson would go to before the Open. A lot of golfers would do before the Open. I think, what was it? Yeah, 2019, we had Justin Thomas. This was not a PGA Tour event. In fact, from 2021 to 2019, these events were DP World Tour events. 2022 was not. This was a PGA Tour. It was a co-sanctioned event, PGA Tour / DP, but obviously you're going to have more PGA Tour golfers here. You didn't really see that much in 2021, 2020, and 2019. There weren't a lot of PGA Tour golfers that were coming over and playing this event. Only a few people do that just to get themselves ready for the Open Championship. One thing to note, though, 2021 was played in October because this was coming back from COVID. So keep that in mind. I'm pretty sure it was 2021 because I don't think we see any American golfers or PGA Tour golfers. Oh, no. Maybe it was 2020 when Aaron Rai won. I'm sure it was 2020 because COVID was at full force then. Yeah, I think it was 2020. And then they played it in October. I know one of these was played October. I'm pretty sure it was 2020. But yeah, you're not going to have any PGA Tour golfers there. And you're not going to have many 2021 or 2019. 2022, you're going to have way more because, well, there are FedEx Cup points that are involved with this tournament. And those points obviously go towards the grand prize of $10 million. Like, that's a huge thing people need to consider when it comes to trying to win the FedEx Cup. Like, sure, some of these golfers, their legacy isn't built off of winning the FedEx Cup, but their financial wallet is, and that's what they want. They want that $10 million or a chance to win it. Anyways, here's one thing to note. Let's look through all the PGA Tour / American golfers. Xander won. Check that off. The guy who won the tournament, the guy that you're going to need in your lineup, he won in 2022. Kurt Kitayama, PGA Tour golfer. Tom Kim, I don't think he was a member at this time. I think he became a full-fledged member during the Wyndham last year, so not really a PGA Tour golfer, but I don't even know if he was a part of the DP World Tour because he just turned 21 a month ago, so you'd be 20 years old playing this. I don't know if he was part of the DP World Tour. Fleetwood, I can't remember. I think he was a PGA Tour event or a PGA Tour member, but obviously a prominent DP World Tour. Cantlay was a PGA Tour member. Donaldson was not. So really, in my opinion, Donaldson would be your first DP World Tour guy. Fitzpatrick, I believe at this time was a PGA Tour golfer. So too is Brandon Wu. And then Cameron Tringale, by the way. Who in their right mind would have thought Cameron Tringale would have played well over in Scotland? Not me. I don't think most of you guys would have either. But then we have a few DP World Tours. So I'll just go ahead and highlight all those guys. All the DP World Tour golfers. How about this? I'll just do Tom Kim for the time being because maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. But when you see everyone else that's up at the top of the leaderboard, they're all PGA Tour golfers. So if you want to get cute and try to make an all-European lineup, probably not the best time to do it. And this is at the windiest, by the way. This is when it was the windiest. The hardest scoring conditions at this club for the last 4 years. 2 Americans, top of the leaderboard. Or I shouldn't even say 2 Americans. 2 PGA Tour golfers. I mean, they are Americans, but 2 PGA Tour golfers. So don't get too cute. That's kind of my message for this week. Don't get too cute trying to play these fancy, or not even fancy, let's just say up and coming DP World Tour guys, or anyone that's been hot recently on the DP World Tour. Because even like when we scroll all the way down, even when you get to 20th place, look at all these guys right here. I mean, sure, Bezuidenhout at one point in time was on the DP World Tour, but he was a PGA Tour member at this event. Ryan Palmer, Joaquin Niemann, Wyndham Clark, Doug Kim, Max Homa, Matt McNeely, and then we get to Brennan Grace, which is interesting because Live was happening at this time. And then Valimaki, sure, all DP World Tour guys. So there are more PGA Tour golfers at the top of the leaderboard than there are DP World Tour. If you want to add a couple, be my guest. I think that's fine. But don't get cute with building your lineups. PGA Tour is still the best tour in the world when it comes to talent. They're still going to provide that at this event. And if you want to use DP World Tour stats, like strokes gain stats, I don't think it holds a candle to PGA Tour stats. So even if you think you're getting cute with some of the guys that are doing really well on the DP World Tour, it still, to me, does not hold a candle to the PGA Tour. So yeah, there'll be like 2, 3, 4 guys you could probably consider, but when it comes to the long list of DP World Tour golfers that you could add in your lineups, good luck guessing which ones they're going to be. I mean, it might be easy, but all I'm just trying to say is don't be cute. Don't be cute. Target your PGA Tour golfers that you like. I think they get a clear advantage over the DP World Tour guys. So if you have a model that's including some of these DP World Tour guys, awesome. I'm not sure how you should weight the PGA Tour golfers versus the DP World Tour guys. I'd almost give, if all things are equal, like all the stats you're using are equal, you're comparing the strokes gain stats, I'd give a 1.25 times multiplier towards the PGA Tour golfers. Whatever the point total that comes out, or whatever the ranking is, they need to be that much better than the DP World Tour guys. Just my personal opinion. So anyways, that's kind of falling in line with this course and tournament information segment, is just kind of talking about, this is a co-sanctioned event. We're going to have golfers from both tours on there. I think we're going to have 160 golfers in the field, but I still think you target the PGA Tour golfers over the DP World Tour guys. When it comes to the golf course, I mapped it out earlier today. Actually, I mapped it out yesterday. I did the Barbasol Championship today. There really isn't any shot shape that's required at this golf course. I do have fades on here, but remember, this has more to do with scoring potential. These aren't required. They're just, I think, when I look at a golf course, to put yourself in the best scoring position, you should hit these shot shapes. So I have 2 fades on there. That's negligible. We don't have to worry about shot shapes. So nothing to worry about there, nothing to really think about. I don't really care about the par 5s and par 3s. There's 3 par 5s and 5 par 3s. Whoop-de-doo, I guess. I mean, that's kind of cool. I don't care. If I'm being honest, I think I heard someone say like, oh, it's really unique. This is really cool. Yeah, it's cool, I guess. If you want to look at par 3 scoring, go be my guest. Like, there are 3 that are over 200 yards, it looks like, and 2 in that 140, 160 range. So you could do your research that way. And then the last thing to talk about is strength of field. Pretty tough field, 619. So I would, again, to me, when I see a strength of field this high, you still just target the PGA Tour golfers. They're on the PGA Tour because they're the better golfers. They're, again, best tour in the world for golf currently. I think that's all that I have to cover when it comes to the course and tournament information.